Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this final EURES webinar of the season. So today is a really special, interesting webinar. We will um talk about um, uh, joining EURES. So is a webinar devoted to showing how it is like the journey into practice in how to join EURES as a member or partner. And today with us we have a few examples, a few successful examples from all over Europe that will tell us more about their experience. So we have four countries today, and in uh, in order we will hear from France. So here we will hear from Lionel Roland, and with the support of the NCO Nicolas Simon. Then we will hear more from Estonia, from Kaire Kokker. Then we have a representative from Cyprus, so Andris Stilianu with a representative of NCO Prodromos Chrysanthou. Then we will finish with Sweden. We have two partners that are Elisabeth Sjöstrand and Johan Ekelöv, with the support of Åsa Nilsson. So we have a really packed schedule. So before we start, I will give you just a few instructions from like to also interact with us and ask questions. So we will go with every interview for around like 10-15 minutes per country. And you can ask questions, of course, using the chat in YouTube here or in the link that I pasted in the chat if you cannot access the chat. We will, of course, answer those questions at the end after the coffee break in the discussion and Q&A. So we will start this first part of the webinar and we will end at around 11:20 with the interviews. Then we will have 10 minutes coffee break until 11:30 and then we will have a final Q&A session for half an hour, finishing the webinar at 12 Central Europe summer time. Central Europe time, summer, not yet, unfortunately. All right, so without further ado, I will start with the first interview. So we have France. So again, Leon Roland and Nicolas Simon that will tell us more about the journey on joining EURES. So Lionel, good morning. I ask you to introduce a little bit yourself and your organizations just to give context of who you are and what services you provide.
Thank you, Gianflorio. Good morning, everybody. I'm so pleased to be with you this morning because becoming member of EURES is a recent story for us. It happened end of 2023, and these two last years were really a really brand new experience with many activities. So I'm so pleased to share it with you today. To give a short presentation, CAOPS Cap Emploi Network in France is a member of PES, but dedicated to people with disabilities, job seekers with disabilities, and to provide services towards employers, public employers, private employers, each kind of situation of disability at work, all lifelong for job seekers, but also for workers. That's it.
That's really interesting. Thank you, Lionel. And so, what motivated your organization to apply as a US member or partner? So, what was the reason behind it?
It- when it occurred, it was like a logical situation because in France, in best organization, in legislation about disability, a huge change occurred in 2022. Before 2022, we were separated as a specialized organism apart from PES. But in 2022, uh, headquarters of France Travail and our network decided to work together to propose to the Prime Minister a roadmap integrating all services in the common law. So we created what we call one-stop disability support center in each France Travail agency. And we created common teams dedicated to people with disabilities. It was a big change in our situation in France. And we were in one support services delivering attitude. And the question of opening the European market, opening possibilities to have mobilities for people with disabilities like the other, like students, like workers, like job seekers, was an evidence. So in the current discussion between France Travail and our network, integrating EURES was scheduled as a continuity of the main scheme created before.
Okay, great. So, and going more on the admission and approval process, so how would you describe this process? And was it like straightforward or was it demanding somehow?
Not an evidence at all, because very cultural issues were present. Um, we were apart from PES before. We were only national delivery services, never in relationship with other European countries. So the main issue for us was to imagine to work in a European relationships using English, which which is a main topic for us. And it was the first time that our network was created a working group to prepare the admission to put this topic in scheduling and so. And it was brand new for us, a very big change. But in a few months, it was many occasions happened to get the network involved more and more in the process, and it was really inspiring. And between the idea, the goal, and all realizations, all concrete achievements that occurred in a short time.
Okay, so in this, so once you were like part of the network, what did you feel that helped you the most during, let's say, the onboarding period?
What I would like to share with potential members of tomorrow, there are very important time sequences. First is the training sessions. Becoming a US member means to have a strong basis of knowledges, of common knowledges in the network, and the training time was really important.
Hmm.
The language topic I mentioned is the second one, and then it makes the organization moving to coordinate. So my job, my actual job, didn't exist a few months ago, and today I try to conciliate every day to be director of a Cap Emploi team in my region, and to be part of time coordinator for all the network in France. So a very quick coordination, and we have many exchanges communication with Nicolas once 2 times a week at less to coordinate with the NCO and all the organizations.
Yep, that's great. It's also great to see that there was this coordination, like with this contact with the NCO, and soon we will ask directly to Nicola how it works. But first, so how did your how did the staff react to becoming a part of EURES? How was this change internally?
As I said before, the training sessions was really amazing for the US advisors in our network. For instance, you know part of them, Gian Claudio, because I met you in a training session in Porto a few months ago.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember, and we learned the basis of organizing an EOG day. It was in March last year, and in November, our teams were involved in a huge EOG day dedicated to people with disability, and it was a really meaningful time for us because 1,200 and more people in disability situation were interested in moving around Europe. So a really huge evolving from our point of view.
Nice.
It's really concrete
Yeah.
training session time to learn a common knowledge. And the other aspect is to make relationships with colleagues all around Europe. So projects, actions, and results.
Yeah, and that's one of the strongest points of Eurus, so the network, so knowing people around Europe, so you know where then to ask to who you can go to to support also the services. And in this, so um, what what benefits did you find like directly in Euros, like after like the first, let's say, period of joining? So now after years that you are in the network, so what benefits did you find?
In 2 words, network, relationships. And it's really, really important because this basis is a strong lever to create projects, to create bilateral cooperations. So on the basis of being a US member, many bilateral projects were implemented in a very short time. I have several examples. A bilateral cooperation in the southwest of France and Spain
Mm,
in the boarding movements, bilateral cooperations between Bundesarbeitsagentur in Germany, France Travail, and Cap Emploi to improve mobility for people with disabilities. And we try to have a very local approach on very basic level projects, but to make relationships with national level, regional level, and US level when it's possible.
yeah,
It's really, really, it makes an acceleration of the movement and relationships and cooperation projects a really interesting movement.
that's great. That's great also to see this, let's say, practical, concrete, let's say, results from like joining US. Also, these projects that from local can go like bigger and bigger, so go beyond the borders.
Yes.
So that's great. And
Yeah.
so what did you learn, let's say, from this experience joining EURES, and how would you, let's say, what would you say to future members, like or partners that want to join? So how they should prepare in advance, out of your experience?
In our point of view, the specialized issues we are dealing with, disability is really difficult with mobility, professional mobility. So we had a main logic that is step by step, little projects, and trying to upscale and to grow up very in a secure way. And in this kind of services, it works like this. But it depends on what is the member main activity, and you have to adapt the integration in EURES. To improve and to imagine for the future, we see two kind of actions or needs that could be very useful. I know that NCOs have meetings, are coordinating, and so US advisors have a strong lever that is training sessions, and they share and they create relationships. As a coordinator in France, I I should have some meetings with colleagues that are in the same situation. I'm imagining that it should be very helpful that US take this topic in its roadmaps or projects, and also the other lever should be the optimization of different European programs.
Mm-hmm.
EURES is a basis, but in a short time we discovered TMS program, Target Mobility Scheme, with allowances, and so we discover Erasmus Plus program for adults. That is a very strong lever to make mobilities for people that are far from employment. And it's very complex to make links between different European programs, and it should be really inspiring to have like a mapping of different possibilities. Actually, we are, for on the one hand, totally involved in US as member,
Yep.
but our network, thanks to the cooperation with France Travail at a national level, is getting in relationship with Erasmus Plus to integrate the question of disability in Erasmus Plus program in France. And we will have a participation in a European meeting in South Spain in May 2026
Mm-hmm.
to get this topic improving and possibly as a future project. So
That's
in my
great.
point of view, in my position, I try to scope EURES, Erasmus, TMS, and it's huge sometimes.
Thank you, Lionel. So, um, you mentioned many times during the interview, like the role also of the NCO. So, I would like to ask to Nicolas now. So, how was it to
I
support?
assure you that that's not because it's present. To me.
I'm sure, I'm sure. So how was it to support this organization during the admission part and during the integration? So how was the like your perspective in this?
Well, I would say it was very easy, in fact, to work with the Chaos Cap Emploi network for two reasons. The first reason is more maybe personal, but in fact, when we had this the first contact with them, I already had in mind this idea that European mobility shall be also open to people with disabilities. When we are speaking about fair mobility, it means that this mobility is open to everybody.
Hmm.
So it was very important. And with that in mind, of course, I was very motivated to help them to enter the EURES network, because I was sure that they would benefit from the EURES network. And then I think, yeah, it was very important to be at their disposal, in fact, to make sure that whenever they encounter some issue, whenever they have some question, they can contact us as an NCO, just so that we can support them during the joining process. But you know, Lionel is very humble. In fact, we had so very good results with Cap Emploi joining the EURES network. For instance, last year, more than 40 French disabled job seekers could find a job in Europe. It's very important to say so. Moreover, we have also good cooperation, especially with Germany. And in France, France Travail and Cap Emploi are organizing together a cooking contest for disabled workers, just to show to the employers that they can even work as a cook or as a waiter. And then a German team joined this cooking contest. And we have in mind that maybe in some years this contest will be a European contest. Who knows? And one last thing we can also say is that now on the EURES portal, thanks to our German colleagues also who were very supportive about this, we have a dedicated section in the living and working condition part, a dedicated section for people with disabilities, so they can know what are the specific benefits they can have and the specific support they can have in each European country. It was very important also to have that. And yes, 3 years after beginning to work with Cap Emploi, I would say that it was a very positive experience.
Thank you, Nicola. It's great to see how successful was uh, this cooperation and how the results are pretty. Let's say we can see the results not only like from like the perspective of finding a job in Europe. So you said more than 40 people found a job, but also to see how, these many projects and how they are integrated in the network, seeing also internationally how they are the approach to the international community and network which is EURES. So that's a great example, and hopefully this will inspire also and make other organization curious on how to be also part of the network. So thank you very much. And
You're welcome.
so soon, of course, later we will continue the discussion with you. So thank you, Nicola and Lionel, for this, and we will continue now with the second interview. So we will move to Estonia. In the meantime, of course, to the audience from YouTube, you can start writing any questions that you have. So we will redirect them at the like in the final Q&A and discussion. But now it's time for me to start interviewing from Estonia, Kaire Kokker, so which is here today representing her organization. So good morning, Kaire. Thank you for being here. So I ask you first of all to introduce a little bit yourself, telling so what is your organization and what services do you provide?
Yes. Hello, good morning. My name is Kaire Kokker, and I am from Estonian Integration Foundation. Integration Foundation is a competence center who supports development of integrating the integrated and cohesive like society in Estonia, and we cover our activities cover the whole Estonia. We have language houses. We have very different services for people to integrate, to settle in Estonia, to get better knowledge of Estonia language and culture. Myself, I am head of diaspora services, which includes all diaspora, which is about 200,000 Estonians all over the world, and all, say, little communities, and also returners, Estonian returners who lived abroad or born abroad and who have Estonian roots and who are ready to move back to Estonia. So we are supporting these people. And with EURES, we are partnerships from year 2020. So we've been partners a long time.
Now a long time,
considering the partnerships developed only around this time. So yes, we are one of the very first ones in Estonia. Yes.
That's great. Thank you, Kari, for
Yeah.
this introduction. So I will start asking you, so also understanding what is the scope of your organization. So was there like a specific strategic goal or challenge you wanted to address while like becoming like part of the EURES network?
Well, as perhaps not all our organization, but specifically our service, like diaspora service, returner service, we are like very committed to provide information and guidance to Estonians abroad about working living conditions in Estonia, particularly who considering returning to Estonia. So, and also supporting like Estonian employers to be prepared, sort of employ people who lived long time abroad, say in Europe. So it's kind of like cooperation with EURES is very important for us. It's like a international knowledge of European labor market, Estonian labor market, and we obviously want to be as well like sort of knowledgeable in this field, and with help of EURES and our little network also in Estonia. EURES network is very, very beneficial for us to receive this information so we can give it to our clients. Yes. So
that's great. And so more so understanding a little bit also this goal. So how would you describe the admission process and approval process, like joining the network?
For us, the process was quite straightforward. It was very well structured. Our NCO offered lots of support in a way to discuss or talk about it, what's benefits, what's our responsibilities, all guidance, and what we can expect. So I would say it was quite straightforward. Also, I do now wish, like later, I'm thinking perhaps it would have been maybe beneficial to have like a bit of trial time, like like when you employ this kind of, you have 4 or 5 months to both decide is it okay. So to actually sign such a big contract on commitment, it's a signature of our head of our organization, was a bit let's say needed a bit discussion and reassurance that it's a good thing. But and for us, obviously, in Estonia, it's a small country and it's easier to understand how things are. But I'm thinking maybe in the future something to think about is perhaps give like a bit of like
a trial period.
trial period without this final signature, sort of like a settling period, like half a year or something. So you can see, is it do you have enough resources to contribute, to take this responsibility, to have this cooperation altogether? Yeah, we was lucky that for us this was okay, but I can see there might be sometimes some kind of issues because you don't really know how it's all going to plot out. Yes.
Yeah, that's really interesting, like this this point of view, this experience. So, but besides this initial, let's say, uncertainty or decision time, did you feel then part of the network quickly, or was there something that was missing during this, let's say, integration period?
No, I wouldn't say. I think it was quite straightforward. Like I said, in Estonia is quite a small country, and as we started 2020, it was kind of a bit difficult because we had this COVID time and couldn't really meet up, sort of thing. But I could again say for our NCO was very supportive. We arranged meetings online, and straight away we had a meeting other partners, because at the time Estonia NCOs had 2 other partners. One is still a partner, Manpower, and we kind of had online meeting with Estonian partners, EURES partners, and EURES members and EURES advisors in Estonia. So we had like a really good meetings to introduce each other, what we do and how can we support each other or signpost our clients and so on. So we already found lots of points at the time in Estonia. So by the time Europe was open again, and we was obviously invited or given opportunity to join some bigger different events and trainings in Europe, which was really, really useful, really good information. I think generally EURES have this really good values with like concrete tools like this portal, which open up lots of information for us, and obviously the guidance by all advisors and experts all around. So yes, so I would say our joining process and developed from there only upwards.
Yeah, that's great. And besides this, like, do you have a specific like success story, like in US context?
Yeah, I do actually have very good success story. Funny that you ask, because I was just thinking it before. I had the opportunity through EURES networks and now NCO to be part of kind of interesting conference last year, early 2025, in Latvia, EURES meeting, which was called like a labor mobility on return mobility. Yes. So Latvian EURES network together with ELA organized kind of return mobility 2-day like event where they invited so Estonian, Latvian, Lithuania, Poland and Croatia like a different partners and EURES members and EURES advisors, and we all shared our experiences about specifically returning mobility, but generally labor market different aspects in Europe. And it was two days event. It was really interesting to first hearing all similar country experience, how they support returners, what they do, what kind of tools they have, how many generally the mobility is moving between the countries and so on. But the success out of that was like I met one of the coordinators in Latvia who is doing very similar service for returners as in
great.
Estonia we do, like a group meetings for returners to have like a social meetings. And we invited her to come and join like a job shadow in Estonia to our meeting, and she really enjoyed it last year and got some good practices from us. And just early this year we went in Latvia return similar like joint meeting. We went to see Latvian returners and had a really good insight how they providing services. So it's come down to really like everyday practice and every day giving better service to our clients through this actually for this Euros partnership and this particular meeting in Latvia. Yeah, and return mobility is generally really coming up new subject in Europe. So I hope we'll have more such meetings, like all over Europe. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great success story. So having this integration and seeing also parallel activities in other countries, which like helps
Exactly.
you a lot also comparing and adapting, also taking the good, let's say, practices from other countries and sharing yours also. This is great.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much, Kari, from your experience. Also, with you, we will continue later in the discussions, also with the questions that we received from the audience. Thank you. So, we will
Thanks.
continue now with Cyprus. So today we have here Andris Stilianu, and we have the support also of the representative of the NCO Prodromus, Chrysanthou. So good morning, Andri and Prodromos.
Hi.
Good
Good
morning to
morning.
Good morning. So, as a very first question, of course, to Andri, I just ask you a short introduction of yourself and your organization. What services do you provide?
Perfect. So I'm a career advisor at European University Cyprus, and we are proud EURES partners since 2019. We offer a number of services to students, graduates, and the general public that has to do with career counseling, with mobility, with interview preparation, and anything that has to do basically with their careers. When 2019 we decided to join, was just a few months later we had COVID, so our process in becoming a partner was a bit different, but still very interesting process.
Nice, nice. And so going like already to the let's say the application. So were you familiar with Eurus before joining? So was it already known? And how was it like to apply?
We had a close collaboration with the NCO here in Cyprus because our university is a strong believer in mobility. We had a few requests at the time from people interested to move abroad. So their support was very important in order to make sure that we can offer that service. And when the opportunity came along of becoming a partner, it was a no-brainer. Like it was the thing to do in order to be able ourselves becoming advisors, going through the consolidation of the process and understanding how we will be able to offer this service ourselves to our community.
Okay, that's great. Also, that there was already this knowledge of the network, and this motivated you to join in. And concerning the process, so we heard already like the experience from France and from Estonia, which were different. So, what was the most, let's say, straightforward part in your admission and approval process, and what was the most demanding one?
The straightforward was the actual application. Basically, there we had to prepare a few documents, make sure that the right people signed the papers, and make sure that we go through the processes, which was very basic and organizational wise we're ready to do. I think the most demanding part was the consolidation phase for our eures advisors.
Okay.
Because as I said before, we went through that process during COVID, so everything was online. So we had a lot of hours of learning new material, doing that online in an asynchronous manner, which put a lot of stress on us because of that period and everything that was happening around the world.
Okay, so it was like, let's say, contextual to the timing of joining the network, like
Yes.
this demanding part. And once like you were admitted, so were you welcome and integrated in the US network? Was it something quick, or you needed time uh, uh, to feel also part of the network?
In general, I do believe that there is a very strong word that should be said about yours is the collaboration is strong between most of the partners. We have continuous communication with a number of partners, creating joint ventures in order to make sure that we can offer the right services to the demands of the candidates. And I think that feeling incorporated into the system and feeling part of the network was quite easy, especially after returning to the office and after joining a few site seminars and conferences.
Okay, and so on the side of the let's say services, so what services and contribution did your organization commit to providing? So in the context of EURES and the expertise of your organization.
We mostly focus on candidate needs. We do offer counseling in the eures services to our job seekers, along as other tools that are offered through the eures network, like Europass. But what we offer that is different than any other partner I know is we organize each year 2 events with our eures partner here in Cyprus, our NCO. We offer career exhibitions with employers from Cyprus and abroad, where our students get to learn them firsthand, get to the opportunity to network, which is really important through the eures network, as well as a number of seminars and workshops on site, inviting eures partners from other countries of interest to our public in order to make sure that they understand the processes for each country, which are different.
Okay, that's interesting. And in this, so on the side of being part of the EURES network, so what's was there something that surprised you the most in terms of like benefits or something connected to it? And was there something that not fully met the expectations that you had at the beginning, as you said that you already knew the network?
What surprised me positively was that there are a lot of things that you can learn through the network that you can benefit from as a candidate and as an employer. It's the same thing that is also a negative because people don't know. And our job as partners, as members, it is to inform the public and let them know about this great service, which is kind of hidden in sometimes because they don't know about it. So at the same time, the same thing is both positive and negative because they need to know about what it offers. And there are so many things, the consolidation offered so many things to us as partners in order to be able to offer this service and offer very important details to our candidates. When you make that really hard decision to move abroad, there are so many things to consider, especially if you have a family to take with you. So there's so many supportive services that they can take advantage, and our job is to let them know.
Okay, that's interesting to see these two sides of the same, let's say, the same coin.
Yes.
Um, on the, let's say, benefits and added value that you can that you took from Eures. So was there any, let's say, professional development, or what was like the greatest of greatest impact for your like organization?
I think it was twofold. The first part was the fact that uh, we believed in mobility beforehand, but
Hmm.
becoming a Eurus partner, we embody mobility,
Okay.
offering a service that functionally can actually change the life of the candidate. And the second part is personally, as a Eurus advisor, the learning curve and the offers from the Eurus network every year to go through trainings on site, online, asynchronous, and virtual is unbelievable. You get to learn so many things that happening at the same time, but also being the first to know anything that has to do with the mobility of candidates. The information are shared constantly through our partners here in Cyprus, but our partners that we have met through our travel abroad. They continue to remember us. They remember how they work with us, and so they send us all the information. So information come and go, and you have the opportunity and
It's interesting. And in general, so what is the what did you learn from this experience of joining the network, and would you do anything differently, let's say, now that you have this experience?
I don't believe I would do something differently. I hoped I had the chance to join in a different part
Time
of the
frame, yeah.
year. Yeah, but basically, I don't believe I would change something. I believe that I would take advantage more if I had the time.
Hmm.
And nowadays we are joining with a new UDES advisor who's going through that consolidation phase himself, experiencing it differently than me, which is amazing. And I think I would continue as it is, and I will continue being an active member of this network because it's really beneficial to people who know and take advantage of its services.
Okay, thank you, Andri. On the let's say NCO perspective, so now I will ask Prodromos, what do you think that made this cooperation successful? So on your side.
Okay. First of all, I will say that we managed to make a partner. We already knew the university. It's one of the biggest and most active and professional in Cyprus. So we didn't need to do an extra validation test to see if they are a worthy partner.
Hmm.
We already had a lot of cooperation with them in their career days and in other events they were doing. And participated in many trainings they did and had an active collaboration. So it came out naturally. And we'll say that we had a real easy acceptance procedure.
Hmm.
We didn't need a lot of extra information from them or documents to validate that they're a great partner. And the people who are working at the university are very active and
Yep.
very professional, and we managed to go through the process really easily.
Yeah, that's interesting. So also to see, like on your side, that this mutual, let's say, knowledge of each other. So from like Andrew's side, so knowing Euros already, and from the past side, let's say, knowing the university already. This was, let's say, the key of the success of this cooperation. And in like, would you give any special advice to future applicants also from other countries, given your experience with such partnerships?
Yeah, I would like always research what you are getting into. If it's a cooperation that is worth the trouble to get in. So research your partner, research if it's going to be mutual benefits for both.
Mm-hmm.
And once you validate that, the process is definitely easy and worthwhile. And the mutual benefits after that, they're extremely big for both.
All right, thank you. Thank you for this suggestion. So hoping that this will inspire, of course, more partners to join the PES. So in any country. So thank you to Andri and Prodromos for sharing your experience, and we will, of course, also with you, we will come back with some more questions also from the audience in the final Q&A session. So thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
now we will continue with the last country, so with Sweden. In this case, we will interview two different partners, and I would like to welcome Elisabeth Sjöstrand, Johan Ekelöf, and the representative from the NCO, Åsa Nilsson. So good morning to you all.
Morning.
Morning.
So I will
morning.
start first with Elizabeth, so we can focus on each organization in a prompt way without mixing too much the cards. So Elizabeth, you're first. I ask you first of all to introduce yourself and your organization. What services do you provide, and also in US context, let's say.
Thank you so much, Jan Claudio. I'm Elisabeth Sjöstrand, and I'm a business development manager with the focus on skill supply and competence for the municipality of Västervik. So Västervik's municipality is a partner in EURES since last year, a year ago.
Nice.
And this is due to the struggle we see our business community has with finding business critical competence and trying to help them to supply this from outside of Sweden. So main focus is, of course, the business community and the employers to help them find skilled workers and workforce outside of the Swedish boundaries.
All right, great. So going more into deep, so in your application and motivation also to apply, was it like an easy or difficult decision to join EURES? So were there any uncertainties before applying?
Well, I sort of found out on LinkedIn. I didn't know EURES existed, so I
Okay.
had to dig into and do the research and understand what it was all about. We had a good experience of helping a company to source European employees in Skellefteå when our battery factory in Northvolt went bankrupt. So I understood that this is a way of helping the business community to get workforce. And with EURES, could this be a way? I spoke to Åsa a couple of times to understand what EURES network could mean for us. I also spoke to one of the municipalities that was already a member to understand how could this help us. And I only got positive feedback, and the decision was made by our politicians because it has to be a political decision. And they are very positive, and they are really interested to see what EURES gives to our municipality. So it's high on the agenda in our municipality.
Okay, nice, nice. This to see this process of like deciding how and like to join the network, getting also a little bit information on like what are the, let's say, the pros of joining it. And in this, so how would you describe, as like you're a pretty new partner, so how would you describe the process? And you said also you had contact with members of the network. So how was like the support from the National Coordination Office, for example?
Well, the contact with NCO, and it is OSA, that was my contact initially, was from the very start super good, good advice, guidance, quick replies, professional, very warm, welcome already before we went into the partnership. And the process, well, it was fairly quick, not complicated to fill in forms, and got good help from the other two municipalities. I could sort of check their applications and see how they had planned it. So we helped it. They helped me as well. Very good process.
That's great. That's great to see like this supportive, let's say, how supportive was the NCO in this process of joining the network. And on the side of your organization, did joining the network require any organizational change in particular?
No, this is a partnership that I coordinate, and it's a part of my job, a smaller part. I also have a recruitment specialist at the HR department in the municipality that sort of we do this together, but it's mainly me who drives and develops the EURES network activities in our community, business community.
Okay, so how did
So
you?
I'm more a link between the employers and EURES advisors nationally.
Okay.
I'm not the person that matches candidates.
Okay.
I'm more, yeah, you understand?
Of
Yeah,
of a coordinating role, like an in-between role, let's say. Yeah.
exactly.
And so how did you like react to becoming part of the of EURES or your staff? So how was like the feel of becoming part of the network? So what was the reaction to this?
Well, first of all, we need to get EURES known in the business community because it is not. I'm myself is proud of the network. I know what it can give, so I need to sort of spread that inspiration and attraction about EURES to my employers. And I started that this year. Last year was more a foundation phase for me with the consolidation phase and to understand what is the municipality role in the network. But this year we have started operational, and I've had meetings with the hospitality industry and the technical and manufacturing industry, where the skill supply is, they have the most shortage. And I can now see how they actually knock on the door and say, hey, this EURES, what was that all about? So we are in process now. It has started to get known. And it's also a matter of sending out information in newspapers, present it at business breakfasts, and use all opportunities to talk about EURES and the opportunities that comes with EURES for employers in our municipality.
That's great. And so have you reached also new employers and job seekers through EURES in this sense?
I am reaching new employers day by day. I also get candidates through the mailbox that if I can match them, I definitely help them out to the right employers. it's just a year ago we became partners, so I don't have a tangible result, but I can feel that it will come. Yesterday I had a phone call from a business owner who needed an e-commerce manager, and I helped him on Teams to see that this portal, you can find them. And he was like, Jesus, this is so good. I need to do this. So it's a matter of showing what is possible with the network. And I have a great help from the National EURES advisors in this work, who I work closely with from PES.
That's interesting. And so being such a new partner, so in your let's say vision, how can EURES respond and adapt to the changing labor markets in the European Union? You see any potential from this network?
Well, I think there will always be potential with the EURES network. It will come, it will be in cycles. Right now, I get the feeling that we're more or less competing over the same workforce, the same skilled workers for our technical industry, the healthcare sector, and so on. But I think it needs to be a long-term vision of EURES, and we all need to make it better known, so it can be a better wheel turning. Yeah.
Okay, yep, like knowledge, so getting the network known is always like important also to provide the service itself in a better way and make it evolve. Also on your side, so you had direct contact like to let's say support the integration of this partner, so their application. So how was it on your side, this process? So how was supporting their admission and integration?
It was very easy. Yeah, sorry, Elizabeth. Please.
That was for Åsa, not for me. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly. And it was also interesting. It was very easy, and it was a good dialogue. But I also think that for example, the municipalities are used to this kind of process because we're using the procurement system to do the everything that has with the network to do. So I think that they are used to it, of course, makes it easier. But it was also interesting because we had just recently make a makeover of our admission system. So it was kind of a new admission system apart from the one that we had in 2018. So it was good to really try it out too. So very good.
Okay, nice. So this experience that you already had with other municipality helped you a little bit also address, I guess, some issues that may arise in the process. And so far, what do you think that made like the cooperation successful on like on your side?
Oh, I think it's the open-mindedness, or what you will call it, that you're open to learn everything that has to do with the network, and it's a network. So the networking possibilities and skills to do networking is of course something that is really important when you're joining. And Elizabeth really had that. So a very good cooperation. Also that she talks to the other members and partners to learn things, because our network is quite big in comparison. So there's 19 members and partners in the Swedish network. So you really have them to use when you're a new member or partner.
Yep, that's that's interesting also to see like some let's say positive sides already after just a few like only a little time from joining the network. And in this, I would like to also like now to include Johan in the discussion. So and see what is your experience also in comparison to Elizabeth's one. So Johan, I ask you first of all, like to introduce yourself and your organization, so to the audience.
Yeah. So my name is Johan, and I work at a very small, privately funded company called Sansom. And compared to Elizabeth, we've been a member for far longer. We've been a member since the beginning, where this opens up as a private member. And what we do is, I would say, we do two different kinds of things. One is that we work with unemployed people here in Sweden, sort of as a job coaching agency. And then we also have a European mobility department, mainly focusing on youth mobility. So we work a lot with Erasmus Plus, for example. We also work with the European Social Fund. So we work with different kind of European programs.
Okay. So let's say a totally different approach, I think, in joining also as like from like being like a private like a small private partner. And in this, so what were the, let's say, strategic goals or challenges that you wanted to address joining like the network? So what was the reason behind it?
Yeah, first of all, we've had some contact with EURES before joining.
Okay.
We had some joint youth project with through the social fund, where EURES were also a member of that project. So we had some cooperation before, and then for us, were already working with unemployed people, and we were already working with European labor mobility. So for us, it was. I mean, it was sort of like, of course, we should be a member. This is right up our alley, and it's going to be a really nice glue to tie everything together. So that was sort of our motivation for applying for this.
Yep, that's great. And also seeing like that there was a knowledge of Eurus before, also having contact with them before joining the network. So on your side, so how was uh, the admission process, and what did you find like, for example, demanding? What was the most demanding thing in this process?
Yeah, before I answer this, like the person who were in charge of this process is no longer working with us,
Okay.
and we have not been able to get a hold of her. But from what I remember, and then again, I was not part of this process, it was very easy. I don't think there really were any complications at all. I remember we having one meeting here at our offices, and then also continuing in Stockholm at the NCO. But the process were simple and it was quite quick. And as far as I know, there were no complications at all.
Okay, that's great. And um, so in like how is now your organization integrated in the network? So how do you feel did you feel like from the beginning like welcome integrated in the network, or was it a process that kind of developed over time?
I would say it's been a process. From the beginning, I would say it was more difficult, especially in the very beginning. I think the roles were, no one really knew what was expected from both ends. Like we didn't really know what we were supposed to do all the time, and also like from the NCO maybe didn't know exactly what to expect from us. So it took some time to also figure out how should you work with private members of the network. And I think we've come a long way. And as also said in the last interview, we have a quite big network in Sweden of private organizations, and I think nowadays it's functioning very, very well in both ways. But it was a process, I would say. Yeah.
No, that's nice also to hear this, let's say, different way of adapting to the network. And in this, did you require any like organizational change like internally, or like everything stayed the same somehow?
Everything stayed mostly the same. And again, we are a very small company, also completely privately funded. So for us, it was a bit difficult because I mean, since we are a member, but we have to finance our staff somehow, so we couldn't make too big structural changes. But of course, there are some changes. I have a small percentage of my employment that is supposed to go to EURES work, but nothing major. And we work mostly the same nowadays as we did back then.
Okay, I understand. And in terms of expectations, so the expectations that you had at the beginning, were they fully met? Is there something that is still missing or developing in terms of, expectation on mutual, let's say, support?
It's still developing, and I think that goes for most European programs, and also when you work with the labor market, it's continuously developing. I would say our expectations are mostly met, but it's also been a process with that. It took some time, and I think it goes back to the last question. Like no one really didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
But without knowing what we expected, I think it's still been met. Like it's a great network to have. It opens up a lot of possibilities that you didn't even know were there, really. So it's,
in terms of this, like, is there like a specific, for example, benefit that you found that was not, let's say, anticipated, as you said, like something that comes to your mind in terms of like benefits or?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that is the network of other private organizations and other private members of the network. And again, now we have a pretty big network in Sweden. We're also very different types of organizations. Like we have municipalities, we have small private companies, we have big companies. So it's very diverse. And that is a big strength also, because you get contacts with different people all over the country and also all over Europe. So it opens doors for cooperations in many different areas, I would say.
Well, that's great to see also that this helped you, let's say, expand like internationally your reach. Do you have a specific like success story that comes to your mind in this context?
Maybe nothing is fully finalized yet, because we were still in a very early process. But from previously, we've been working with the social fund projects. This was before joining. It was the project that EURES were also a part of. So then we worked with unemployed, troubled youth here in Sweden, sending them on doing an internship abroad to sort of help boost them. And it was very successful. And now through the EURES network, we're hopefully going to participate in a similar project, but from Italy instead. So there will be Italian youth coming to Sweden and doing internships to sort of help them boost their chances on the Italian labor market. So I think that's a good success story. If we land.
That's beautiful. Yeah, sure. And it's great to see also that this also keeps on developing also to other countries, and it's really interesting project and story. And so. Thinking about what you said of this, let's say, kind of process that is always ongoing. So, what did you learn so far from this experience of joining the network? And is there something that you would do, let's say, differently, that could, let's say, that would have helped you, like at the beginning of this process?
That's a difficult question. Me myself, I'm very new in my roles, and that's why it's also a bit difficult for me to answer. I've only been a coordinator for a couple of months. But approaching it differently, I think, yes, we would maybe not approach it differently, but I think we would try to think a bit differently.
Like
we're a small organization.
Prepare in advance.
yeah, we're used to working with a very high pace and things happening all the time, and you're expecting kind of quick results when we do something. Joining the EURES network and working with bigger projects and bigger pictures, you have to realize that things take more time.
Yep.
So that's maybe having more of that mindset. We would probably change to expect things to take more time, I would say.
Okay, interesting to hear this point of view. And in terms of let's say uh, let's say uh, let's talk now about more the future, so the improvements of the network. Do you think that there are some uh, new services that would be, let's say, valuable in uh, in in the context also of your organization, of the services that you provide, so in US context?
Yeah, for sure. I think there is always ways to improve when it comes to the labor market. One thing that we've noticed is that, especially working with youth, is that EURES is not really known. We work with hundreds of youth every single year in different projects, and less than 1% have heard about EURES. And then this is people who are already interested in doing a mobility project abroad, but still it's less than 1%. And I think there's a lot of room for improvement there. I think different kinds of youth progress or programs would be a very good area for the network as a whole to focus on. Erasmus Plus maybe, or just information in general. And I think we as private partners can be very big and key role to that, since a lot of us are closer to the actual people, closer to people. Like we work directly with unemployed people. We work directly with schools. So I think EURES network as a whole have a very nice opportunity to use the private members to spread the information more than what we're doing at the moment. So.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this perspective. Also see that there can be improvement also on the youth side, maybe also with projects and like to get the network and the services more known to this kind of audience. Also, on your perspective, let's say a sort of comparison with Elizabeth's partner, so the municipality. How was like different like to like the process and the integration of such like private partner on the other side?
I'm not sure it was so much that they are a private partner. It was more like they were like a second partner to be admitted. And as Johan said, we kind of learned how to work this new EURES network together, because they've been with us since 2018. So I think that was more what formed this development than that they were private partners. Of course, there's always this question, as Johan said, they have to finance their work, so there has to be money somewhere, and that's kind of also the question when it comes to the private ones that are not like municipalities or universities or whatever, that they actually have to have some business in this. Otherwise, it's not possible for them to be in the network. So that was, of course, something that we had to think about. But I mostly think that it's everything was so new when they were admitted to the. So there were hardly any other members and partners in any other countries. We had like 2, and so we learned together what this new US network was actually.
Okay, that's interesting. And just
Yeah.
closing like with you, so would you give like a special advice to this kind of uh, organization interested in becoming like partner of EURES? So out of the experience that you already had with these processes.
Mm. As I said, for the private ones, I think you have to think on the business part.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we earn money in this? You are allowed to charge for for some of the services, but not all of them. And how can we do that? Or is there any other means to get money into our work? So that's the first one, and the second one is like you once said, you have to be a bit patient because things take time, both in the process of becoming a US member and partner, not the admission system, but we have seen like up to 6 months. You need that time to understand what you're actually going to do with US. So be patient. That's my second advice.
All right, so I think these are like two precious advices to give, and like for those interested in joining both on, let's say, municipality side, private side, and so on. So thank you all to for your answers to this interview, and we will come back after this. Sorry, after this short coffee break with more questions, with a little discussion between us. And for this, of course, I advise also, I repeat to the audience online, of course, you can ask question directly to our speakers. So feel free to write them in the chat or using the link that I pasted in the chat, so we can I will read like your questions to the speakers. Now we reached like say the coffee break, so we have 10 minutes to rest a little bit, and we will come back here for the final Q&A discussion. So see you in 10 minutes at 11:30 Central Europe time. Thank you very much. All right, so welcome back. So I hope you enjoyed your coffee. So now we will continue the the webinar with a final, let's say, discussion Q&A. So feel free to ask any question to our speakers. You can decide to ask like a question to everyone or to address it to a single speaker. In the meantime, I don't see questions from the audience. So in the meantime that you uh, get inspired, like to ask questions, I will proceed asking a couple of questions myself to the speakers that will reply. All right, so the first question, just to break the ice, so what has been your most, let's say, a rewarding moment in EURES so far? Of course, uh, you can choose to answer. I will give you the word. Andri, you can start answering.
I think the most rewarding part was my first placement, first person that I sent abroad. It was a difficult process and a process that took a little bit of time to go through, but all the steps mattered, and it helped out the student and in the recognition and the assistance and the cooperation with the advisors was something I didn't expect when entering this relationship, and it really mattered at the end of the day. Seeing those eyes light up and finding out that you got the job and you're moving abroad and you're moving in a dream job at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's nice. So seeing something uh, concrete, let's say, this is really rewarding to see that this cooperation, this work in cooperation with other organization actually has an effect, a concrete effect in changing somebody's life. So any other rewarding moments from the other speakers? It may be anything like from outside, also internally. Elizabeth, I think you are muted.
Thank you. We're in the process of making EURES more well known in our county, our region of 12 municipalities, and together with the business developer regionally, we decided to make films from employers that has European employees. And I was out filming the first film this week, and that was so rewarding to hear how the Polish workforce that he has on board is helping him to build houses on the sea. I mean, you see the full process of how EURES works. It's very rewarding.
That's great. That's super interesting, uh, and also to see like this engagement from your side to get like EURES more known and the services more known. Um, any other rewarding experience so far, Lionel?
Yes. Like Andrew said, the first moving abroad achieved was a huge moment for our advisors, and it occurred end of 2024, moving in Dublin with a real achievement and a relationship with the services in Dublin and a very good cooperation. But in my position as a coordinator, participating in EURES in Action, which is an event each year that is a big meeting of EURES partners and members, was in Warsaw last year. And I had a presentation of 1 hour, a very long time, to deal with moving abroad for people with disabilities, with many colleagues in Europe, all over Europe, and that was a really great moment in my position.
Thank you, Lionel. I remember like also the moderation of it, like of the delivery of some workshop from your side was really interesting, and it's nice also to see that the rewarding parts of the network. Sometimes it's both like seeing the effect that it has with job seekers and employers, but also, let's say, internally in terms of working in your own organization in cooperation with other organizations, seeing how this change and can enrich your experience. I think this is really rewarding. And now I would go more or less, I would like to do a sort of round of opinions. So I would like to ask two, let's say, parallel questions. So the first is, so what in the, let's say, the practical reality of joining the network and working with EURES? So what was easier than expected? What comes to your mind in the process? Jon?
There we go. I would probably say the process itself was a lot easier than expected. Working with other European programs and projects, it can sometimes be very difficult and time consuming, and there's a lot of documentation and everything that needs to be handled. This was comparatively very simple.
Okay, great. So the process itself was easier than expected. Prodromos?
And also say collaboration with people that are involved in EURES, it's extremely easy. and because people involved in EURES are usually more outgoing and more willing to learn about different cultures and get involved internationally and get out of their standard way of thinking and living. It's very easy to connect with them, to collaborate with them, and to learn from them, from their cultures and everything.
Great, thank you. Kaida?
Yeah, I would point out our local support, national coordinating office people, and they was very supportive, very responsive. Like I was only like one of the service representative. Our head of our organization wanted to know a little bit more. You know, she had some questions at the time, and her own little worries, and together with this local NCO, we kind of managed to get all these answers, and it was very good support. And also the documentation, the contract, everything was quite straightforward. For me, at least. Obviously, for a head of an organization is always different because she's the one who's signing. So no, I would like I said, the only thing I would think maybe the little trial time would be beneficial eventually, but otherwise it was very straightforward, like the process.
Okay, interesting. I think this can also motivate eventually who wants to join that, like this like process. Also the documentation, it's easier than expected. So thank you, Kara. And Elizabeth, what do you think?
I also want to mention the clever focus on networking. If it's in a national coordinations meeting, or if it's in the consolidation phase, or if it's in a training, you always have focus on us getting to know each other, present ourselves, give us plenty of opportunity to talk and have dialogue. I think through that method, in every step, in every meeting, we build the network stronger. So I think that's very good to have it like that.
All right, yeah, sure. That's also a big value. So thank you, Elizabeth. Now on the other side, so now I ask you like what was easier than expected? Was there something harder than expected, or did you like a challenge that came up like joining in the joining the network or in the process itself? Something that in your experience happened that you didn't expect? Also, I mean, it can be also in the process then of integrating, let's say, in the network. Lionel?
Yes, it's the dark moment, I assume. To be honest, the coordination of programming, scheduling, training is quite difficult because it is a link between EURES and NCO and each members, and informations are going everywhere every time. And we are in a network position, so I am not in a unique organization. We are 23 advisors everywhere in France, and to coordinate the knowledge, the common knowledge about training sessions is quite difficult and takes time and effort. And we try to be as simple as possible. But as said Elizabeth, we made a huge effort to have a monthly meeting with all members managed by our NCO, and it makes it easier as possible, but it remains quite tough sometimes.
Yeah, thank you. It's interesting also to see the ways that you try to cope with the situation, trying to adapt to it. Prodromos, I don't know if your hand raised is from before or the new one.
I don't have anything to add to this.
Okay. So any other challenge from other speakers or something that you found like difficult? Awesome.
Yeah, and I think this is more a general observation after having, I mean, those members and partners that we have today are not all of them that we have had during the years. We have some that comes and goes also, and I think Johan can also attest to this that I think a big challenge, mostly in the beginning, it's starting to get better, but was that there was so few other admitted members and partners in the network. And it has taken years. And I think a lot of those that was admitted in the beginning was expecting to have a lot more counterparts in the other countries. So that was a big challenge. And Johan is nodding, I can see him, yeah.
All right, so I would like to focus like the last part of this discussion, let's say on the future. So on where is the network going? So it's a question addressed both to partners, then also to NCOs. So what opportunities do you see emerging in the next years? So, what do you think is going to be like an opportunity for your work and your cooperation also? Johan?
Yeah, and maybe at least no surprise to Osa what I'm going to talk about, but I will go back to what I said during my interview, and I really think that we need to work a lot with youth and with the future employers of Europe and future participants of other labor market projects. Go out and meet youth, work with youth, different kinds of youth programs. Doesn't really matter within what context. It can be Erasmus, it can be social fund projects, it can be sporting events or whatever. But we need to work with youth to teach them and just show them the opportunities of the European labor market. And that's what I think there's a big opportunity for the network to also grow a lot within this area.
Okay, thank you, Johan, for this first, let's say, contribution on like what opportunity there can be. Then I see many hands. The first is Kaira.
Yeah, I see maybe like opportunity kind of new services for perhaps more targeted support for like a niche groups. Perhaps young people are one of these, but as a head of diaspora services, I would say like returning migrants, returning your own people. I think more focus or more discussions about this particular groups or any other niche groups, and perhaps more opportunities like hybrid workers, remote working, sort of things like that, sharing information, sharing practices, good practices, and yeah, the mobility is huge, labor mobility. It doesn't have to be physically moving a country. Perhaps it can be becoming more like remote or hybrid or something like that. So I'm looking forward to something like that, discussions and, you know, networking, sharing practices between partners, Eures.
Yeah, that's interesting. Also, like opportunities that can come from the development of the labor market, so the change in the ways of working, also in terms of, like in your case, in terms of like returning and so on. This is a really interesting aspect. Andri, what about you?
I I experienced firsthand the changes and the updates made in the systems, and I think that's very important in this new, when we're talking about youth. In order to target youth, you have to make it easy for them, and user experience and user interface has to talk to this public. And I think this is the next step, digitalization and bringing everything together, and having one login right now assist you in accessing different platforms generated through the eures and Ella. And I truly believe that's the next step, because if you're not updated in that area, you cannot target this specific group that we are talking about.
Yep. Yeah, so development of the tools in order to like to attract and to support in a better way the stakeholders involved, and the clients in this case can be job seekers or employed or employers can benefit from an improvement of the tools. Prodormos, what do you think?
I see a lot of increase in traveling and working abroad. I see the process is becoming much easier. A lot more people are willing and want to try to get the experience and the benefits of working in another country. And technology is making it so much easier to have to communication with your relatives and your friends in your own country if you're abroad, and maybe with flexible working hours and working from home, you can spend a lot of time back to your country, so you can see them, so you don't lose touch with your home country. And it's making the process easier to work abroad.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Like this perspective of not losing, like not having the detachment from your origin, and having the chance also to move also digitally, or to work like in a different way. And in this, US in the future can help and develop also in this. I saw in another hand, yeah, Lionel.
Yes, in a short, middle term future, we focus on two main objectives. First of all, EURES, being a EURES member is a priority, and we want to improve our participation and involvement in EOG days, dedicated EOG days, because we believe it's a strong lever to obtain results. So tomorrow morning we will have a meeting between four members of EURES network to make the return of experience of a former EOG day, to prepare the other to follow, and it's really important, a very strong basis. And on the other hand, we focus on upscaling little projects and upscale. As we presented before about the culinary contest we had only in France, and then in the cooperation with Germany, and we want to go step by step to upscale when it's possible, and that possibly make links with other EU's programs also. In December, for example, ESF made a call for projects about the disability employment package, but it was too short term for us to be ready at this moment. But with other partners like BAs in Germany, Force Travail, and so we try to upscale the previous works and to get to improve when it's possible.
Okay, thank you. Then that's really interesting to hear about these projects and these initiatives. Nicola?
course, looking at EURES in the futures and the opportunities, when you are looking at the geopolitical situation, in fact, we see that Europe is more and more surrounded by, how shall I say, not that friendly countries. And we know that we have to invest more in Europe about defense, about nuclear sector, but also on developing sovereign IT solutions for not being dependent on those countries that are not friendly anymore. And of course, those challenges can be addressed by each member state on its side, and we will have to work together in Europe on those topics. And then I think it's a really good opportunity for EURES to show in each country that there are European scale solutions for employment, and I'm really that for all the members and partners, it will be a new step in the way forward for EURES, and with a very big opportunities to work together at the European scale just to address those very strategic challenges.
Yep. Thank you, Nicholas, for pointing that out. So having this European perspective of having also like the instruments to uh, be, let's say, to provide something to the people and to have it like at European level, so without being dependent from other, let's say, instruments. So thank you for this perspective. So as we reached almost reached the end of our time, I would like to ask you one last question. So I ask you in one sentence uh, to say what is the true value of EURES in your opinion. So feel free uh, to answer to the question as you prefer. So Andri, we start with you.
I see mobility is important through cooperation.
That's a great way to start. Thank you, Andri.
Thank you.
So, Johan, I think you're muted.
Yeah, my bad. I would say very similar to Andri. Unity and community through mobility is very important.
Thank you. Lionel?
Fair mobility is a very relevant concept from our point of view, and equal access to opportunities is really, really meaningful.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nicola?
Yes, the added value on my point of view is the human network. We are in a world where we have more and more robots and AI engine dedicated to job placements, and the real added value of the EURES network is those 1,000 EURES advisors that are human and that can find very fine solutions for the employers and for the job seekers, of course.
Thank you. That's a beautiful message, like to stay human, let's say, at least in the network and in this service. Kaira?
Yeah, I think Euros like brings together like unique way to it gives like opportunity or accessibility for everybody who wants to explore the world. You know, it's not secret information; it's all open, and everybody have access and possibility to go and explore the Europe labor market or any other way to get to know yourself and others in Europe.
Thank you, Kaira,
Yeah.
for this. Any other contribution as like before we end? All right. So I think we reached our time. I would like to thank a lot our speakers for being here to tell her precious experience on how to join the network and showing also how it is practically to join the network from outside and how it is practically to welcome to support these new members, these new partners from, let's say, from the NCO side, from the internal side, and seeing like how these two entities can cooperate and like support each other, get benefits from both sides is important. And I think the final message would be, of course, that the importance of the network is the biggest value of EURES, as Nicholas was saying. So it's important, like to like the human side of the network, of the service, of like approaching, of course, the needs of the job seekers, of the employers, seeing that there is a person behind these services really is really important. So thank you all for joining. After this, I will share with you the QR code for the satisfaction questionnaire, so you can evaluate this webinar. And also, I pasted the link in the chat. And thank you very much. Have a nice day, and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye bye.
Bye bye.